Have you ever wondered how you can tell if God is really with you or if He will help you in times of trouble? We've all had those moments of doubt where we question whether God is listening or whether He cares about the difficulties in our lives. In this video, I want to share with you 10 powerful signs that can help reassure you that God is walking by your side and that you can count on His help and support. These signs come directly from Scripture and from the testimonies of believers throughout history who have experienced God's nearness in amazing ways. So whether you're facing challenges, uncertainty, or are just curious to know Him better, pay close attention as I reveal the top biblical signs that God is with you and that He will help you through anything life throws your way. Number 1. Unexpected opportunities. When God is with you guiding your steps, you will find that unexpected doors of opportunity seem to open for you just at the moment you need them. Life with God is filled with wonderful synchronicities and divine timing. Even when you face obstacles or things seem difficult, have faith that God is quietly working behind the scenes to smooth your path. All might seem hopeless, but then out of nowhere, an unplanned interaction or idea arises that points the way toward your goals. You meet someone who knows of an opening you didn't know about. An old contact reappears at just the right time to lend a hand. A passing remark gives you an insight that solves a problem. An opportunity arises through an unusual chain of events that leads you exactly where you need to be. Through divine guidance, God will place the right people and resources in your life at the moment you need them. He opens doors that align perfectly with your purpose, gifts, and situation. Even chances or coincidences are often God's quiet whispers of guidance. Have faith that God sees the big picture, even when you can only see one step at a time. By staying close to God through prayer and obedience, you tune your spiritual antenna to receive His gentle nudges. You develop an intuition that alerts you to chances you otherwise might miss. Through obedience, little by little, unseen forces seem to work on your behalf to join the dots and weave opportunities together for your highest good. People, ideas, and resources fall into place through no effort of your own. When you feel stuck or see no way forward, rest assured that God sees many potential paths you cannot. Wait patiently and keep exercising faith through prayer and good works. Do not despair when solutions are not apparent. Have confidence that in God's perfect timing, exactly the right unexpected door will open to lead you to the next step. Though the way may not always make sense, by following God's guidance, you will always end up where you need to be. Stay attuned to gentle promptings that nudge you to be in the right place at the right time. Pay attention to recurring thoughts, synchronistic meetings, and ideas that seem to come out of nowhere. Though they may feel random, they could be divine messages directing your steps. Respond with obedient faith that God promises to order our circumstances and open unexpected opportunities for His purposes. With God, what seems like chance is often pure providence. Number 2. Answered prayers. My friend, when your prayers are answered, it is one of the most reassuring signs that God is listening to you and wants to support you through life's ups and downs. We all face difficulties at times, but having God by your side makes the load feel lighter. Prayers being answered does not always mean things will go exactly as we request. God's solutions may look different than what we imagine, but there is comfort knowing He hears us and wants the best outcome, even if we cannot see the full picture. Through prayer, we open our hearts to God's will and perfect timing. I found it amazes me most when a prayer is answered in an unexpected yet perfectly fitting way. Maybe what you asked for no longer makes sense, so God leads you to an even better solution. Or challenges are taken away just when you felt you couldn't handle more. These kinds of precise interventions show God's intimate care and direction in our lives. At other times, answers come gradually as peace fills our minds through prayer. Worries fade as we surrender a problem to God. Doors open that seemed closed before. Relationships are healed in their due time. Though the resolution may unfold over days or longer rather than being instant, staying faithful in prayer sees us through. I've also witnessed how answered prayers help strengthen faith during dark valleys. Even when outward circumstances remain difficult, an inner assurance carries you that God is in control and will see you through. His answers assure of light ahead, even if it's not yet visible. This peace, which surpasses all understanding, upholds and comforts. When prayers are answered, look back to see how God was guiding behind the scenes all along. Reflect on how His solutions were perhaps even better than what you requested. Share your grateful stories with others to encourage faith. And keep bringing your requests to God with trust that He loves and listens to you. The God who has proven Himself by answering in the past will continue responding to humble, believing prayer. Cling to this promise, especially in toughest seasons, for that is when His help matters most. You will see time and again how He makes a way where seems no way. Number 3. Divine protection. People who feel deeply connected to God report experiencing His divine protection in their lives, especially in challenging or dangerous situations. There is a sense that they are not alone, but being watched over and cared for by a greater power. Sometimes this protection can be felt through narrow escapes from harm. A person may feel drawn to avoid a certain situation or place, and later discover that if they had not listened to that inner prompting, they could have been injured or worse. Accidents are avoided or mishaps don't occur despite the risks. Again and again they slip through dangers, as if by some guardian angel's unseen hand. Other times divine protection envelops a person like a warm light when facing fears. Though anxieties and worries are natural in life-threatening circumstances, an extraordinary peace beyond understanding calms the spirit. Challenges don't overwhelm, and a quiet assurance replaces panic. Strength is found from somewhere deeper than oneself to face any trial. For others, protection is sensed as a comforting presence beside or around them in hard times. Loneliness and vulnerability are lessened, as if God Himself stands guard. Danger still exists, but its power to harm seems weakened. Even in the midst of wrongdoing of others, somehow the worst is held back. Circumstances change in mysterious yet beneficial ways. Help arrives from unexpected sources. Whether through warning instincts, lasting calm, or an invisible shield, those who feel God's guidance interpret these signs as Him watching over His children. No person is exempt from all pain, yet in retrospect, people can see how harm was turned aside time and again. Faith deepens that an almighty Creator who fashioned each soul also pledges to be their true protection. Although not always understanding how or why certain mishaps come, believers rest in the promise that ultimately all will work towards good for those who trust in God. So they walk on, secure in the knowledge that divine love protects the path of the righteous and will never leave their side. Number 4. Renewed strength and energy. My friend, when you feel that renewed strength and energy arising within you despite the challenges you face, it is a clear sign that God is with you and will help you through your difficulties. You may have felt tired, weary, and like giving up before. But then, from somewhere deep inside, you access reserves of courage, patience, and perseverance you didn't know you had. It is as if a fresh surge of power courses through your body, refueling both your physical and spiritual energies. This renewed vitality lifts your mood and perspective. Problems that seemed insurmountable now appear more manageable. You find yourself able to face tasks and tests that would have overwhelmed you only moments before. Your brain seems sharper, your decisions surer, your steps lighter. Fatigue and hopelessness fall away like a cloak discarded. In their place comes renewed motivation, focus, and drive. This power comes from connecting to the divine strength within. In our weakest moments, when all our own resources are spent, God reaches into us and rekindles the flame of life, hope, and willpower. His love refuels our faith and fuels our fortitude. When we tap into this infinite wellspring of courage, impossible things become possible. Mountaintops we thought were beyond us come into view. With this celestial energy coursing through us like a healing torrent, our body's fatigue dissipates while our spirit soars. Day-to-day stresses that once dragged us down now glance off us like arrows off armor. We find we can smile through tears and rise after falls. Each step brings renewed determination as our feet are set firmly on the path ahead. God energizes both our muscles and our hope, recreating us from the inside out. This strength from the divine sustains us through seasons of toil and trial. Like the burning bush that was not consumed, we keep going when all logical reasons say we should stop. Day after day, this resilience renews itself, for its source is as boundless as the love of God. And so we walk in miraculous, blessed assurance that as long as God is with us, no burden need break our backs and no challenge can defeat our souls. My friend, when you feel this surge of renewed energy, know that God is with you and will see you through. He will give you the power to overcome all obstacles in your path. Number 5. Increased faith and trust. My brother or sister, when God is with you drawing closer to you, one of the clearest signs is an increased faith and trust that grows within your heart. As you spend more time with the divine creator of all, as you pray to him and read his holy words, your faith cannot help but strengthen. You start to understand with ever more clarity that God is truly in control of all things. In the dawn, at noon, and dusk, he holds the entire universe together by his immense power. Not a single leaf falls from a tree without his permission and knowledge. He counts each hair on our heads and knows our needs even before we speak them. With this growing realization that God is sovereign over all of existence, you feel him calling you to cast all your worries and anxieties upon him. The burdens you used to carry on your own shoulders, you leave them at his feet. You remember his promise that he will never give you a boulder that is too heavy for you to bear, for his strength is perfected in our weakness. So you surrender to his will with a lighter heart. You accept both blessings and trials with gratitude, knowing they are allowed by God's loving hand for your refinement and his glory. You rest securely in his plan, even if it is unclear to your eyes. You let go of wanting to control outcomes and situations, trusting your Creator to order all things for good as promised. Doubts that used to plague you fade away, for your faith provides clarity and certainty. You feel an inner assurance and peace that the world cannot strip away. God's presence shelters you like the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. You walk through dark valleys, yet no evil shall you fear, for he is with you, guiding you, comforting you every step of the way. This, my brother, sister, is one of the sweetest gifts of God, an increased trust and reliance on him that lifts you above life's storms. Cherish this faith, nourish it daily through prayer and obedience, and know that our faithful Father in heaven rewards those who trust in him with an abundance of grace, joy, and all things needful for the soul. He is with you now and always. Number 6. Clarity and direction. My friend, when God is with us and guiding our path, he often provides moments of beautiful clarity and direction in our lives. Even when the road ahead seems uncertain, his light of truth and wisdom can break through and show us the way. It may start with a gentle whisper in your heart, an intuition that pulls your attention in a certain direction. Or it could come in the stillness of night through a dream that offers solutions to problems you've been wrestling with. The Creator knows exactly what we need to hear at exactly the right time. Through these visions from above, irrelevant worries and confusing options may suddenly clear away like clouds parting after rain. In their place comes a calm knowing of the step you are meant to take and the door that is opening for you. Don't be surprised if you awaken from such a dream feeling rested, at peace, and filled with new purpose. God aims to lift our burdens and guide our footsteps after all. At other times, direction from God can come through a sudden insight that dawns on you during daily activities. Perhaps you're working in your garden, and a Bible verse or words of wisdom come floating into your mind, speaking directly to decisions weighing on your heart. Or maybe you're deep in prayer, and the hazy future spreads out before your mind's eye with one illuminated path shining bright. Follow where that light beckons, my friend, and you'll find that confusion lifts and purpose strengthens with each step. Though the road may still hold turns and lessons, you'll walk assured that God walks with you, his lamp pointing the way. When clarity and direction touch us this way, it's his unmistakable signature, a loving Father ensuring we don't walk alone in the dark. Take heart that with each moment of true insight and revelation, our Creator strengthens our path. Lean fully into his guidance through both dream and daily wisdom. He longs to support you through every choice with direction, purpose, and divine confidence in the direction he's chosen for your life. Have faith, walk closely with God, and be at peace knowing he will make your footsteps sure. Number 7. Provision and abundance. When God is with you, you will see his provision and abundance in your life, even during times of scarcity or lack. His faithful provisions may surprise you. While the circumstances around you appear bleak, with faith in God, you know your needs will be met. Even when your resources dwindle down to nothing, God finds ways to provide above and beyond what you can ask or imagine. Just when you think all hope is lost, an unforeseen blessing comes your way. It may be through a family member lending a helping hand or encountering a stranger with generosity to spare. Your gas tank near empty? Suddenly you find money at the back of your drawer. Hungry with an empty pantry? A bag of groceries left at your door. God is never limited by what you see in the natural. Financial breakthroughs are another sign of his abundance. Unexpected funds come from rebates you forgot about or a long overdue paycheck finally received. An opportunity lands in your lap requiring little effort but paying off in a big way. Debts get paid down quicker than anticipated. Savings build up when previously there was none. Where there was once lack, provision abounds far above what seems possible by worldly means alone. With God, there is always more than enough. Even with limited resources by human standards, His children never truly lack. Invisible to the eye, God works behind the scenes, setting up divine connections and favor to pour out blessings. What the world calls a drought, He turns into a flood of provision. Scarcity is only from an earthly perspective. Spiritually, His children feast at a table filled with more than enough. This is not because of any special merit on your part. God's blessings have nothing to do with worthiness or self-effort. He prospers you simply because you have placed your trust in Him as your Father who knows and cares for your needs. Abundance is part of His very nature, and He longs to lavish it on His children. So put your faith in the God of more than enough, and expect to see His miraculous provision in your life, even and especially during hard times. Number 8. Peace and contentment. Even during the most difficult and trying times in our lives, when everything seems to be going wrong and the future is unclear, having an inner sense of peace and contentment can feel surreal. It is as if, despite the storms raging all around you, there is a calmness in your heart that will not be shaken. No matter what troubles arise or what uncertainties you face, you retain a fundamental trust that all will be well somehow, though you cannot see how. This is not a superficial or fleeting peace that depends on your circumstances. Rather, it is a profound peace of mind and serenity of spirit that transcends your outward conditions. It is a peace that the world cannot give and the world cannot take away. No troubling news or distressing situation has power over this peace, because it does not come from the things of this world, but from a place deeper within, from implicit faith in a God who is in control. Rather than feeling anxious, worried, or afraid when difficulties arise, you experience an inner assurance that even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you fear no evil. You know that the same God who has brought you this far will continue to sustain you, help you, and see you through whatever challenges you face. His unfailing love and omnipotent power gives you strength beyond your own, allowing you to face each day with hope instead of dread. While outwardly life's sorrows and uncertainties remain, inwardly you feel profoundly at ease in your circumstances. You no longer struggle for control, but have come to accept what you cannot change, finding freedom in surrendering all concerns to God. His peace is like an anchor for the soul, keeping you both steady and hopeful even amid rough waters. You know that He who notes even the smallest sparrow's fall will not forget or forsake you. Such an abiding peace is a sign of God's powerful, comforting presence. It speaks to His faithfulness, even when all visible supports are removed. Experiencing this peace despite troubles shows that our trust is truly in God alone, for only He can grant peace that is untouched by passing things. When we place our lives wholly in His hands, accepting His will whatever it may bring, He in turn stills our hearts with His peace, a peace the world can neither comprehend nor duplicate. And that is the greatest sign that God is real, living and active in our lives each day. Number 9. Divine encounters. My friend, on our journey through life, we will often encounter people and situations that leave us with a sense of wonder. Though they may seem strange at the time, later we realize how perfectly timed and meaningful they were. These are divine encounters, moments when God's guidance and provision become visible to us through the kindness of strangers or unexpected turns of events. Let me share with you an example of what a divine encounter may look like. Imagine you are traveling alone to an unfamiliar place, feeling lost and unsure of which direction to go. As you stop to ask for directions, a friendly local approaches and asks if you need any help. You explain your situation, and they don't just point out the way, but offer to walk with you until you find your destination. Along the way, they share words of encouragement that are exactly what your soul needs to hear. Their presence calms your nerves and you feel safe, even in unfamiliar surroundings. After parting ways, everything works out smoothly and you arrive right on time. Later, you cannot help but see how perfectly this kind person appeared just when you needed them most. Their guidance led you to safety and peace of mind. It feels as though their role was not mere chance, but part of a greater plan to provide for your needs. This is the beauty of divine encounters. Strangers become angels, helping and advising by God's direction. At other times, encounters are more subtle. You may overhear a passage from the Bible that speaks powerfully to a struggle in your heart, or notice signs in nature that lift your spirits. A coworker shares from their own journey in a way that inspires hope. Without realizing it at first, these everyday experiences minister courage and light when you need it most. Later, you see God's fingerprint upon them. Whether profound or ordinary, divine encounters are glimpses of God's faithfulness and care for us. Even when we walk unfamiliar roads or have yet to find our way, He goes before us. His love surrounds and sustains through the kindness He places in our paths, so we can face each new day and find in unexpected places the guidance, strength, and peace made known to us through Jesus Christ. Number 10. Spiritual growth and transformation. When you open your heart to God and commit to growing deeper in your relationship with Him, He begins shaping your character to be more like His. This is a gradual, lifelong process of sanctification as the Holy Spirit works in you. Some early signs of transformation include becoming more aware of your own flaws and sins. Whereas before you may not have noticed negative thoughts and behaviors, you now feel conviction when you act unlovingly. This increased self-awareness is uncomfortable but needed for growth. It shows God is revealing truths about yourself so you can change and become holy as He is holy. As you spend dedicated time daily in prayer and reading Scripture, God nourishes your spirit with His truths. Little by little, His teachings take root in your mind and the fruits of His Spirit slowly blossom. You may catch yourself being quicker to forgive others when previously anger came easily. Small acts of kindness seem natural when selfishness used to dominate. Your responses and motives adjust in accordance with God's guidance. The transformation also shows in relationships. As you consciously follow Jesus' commands to love people, old grudges and bitterness fade. Relating to difficult family members and strangers becomes less stressful with God's peace filling your heart. Your conversation moves from gossip to encouragement as Christ reshapes your perspective. Others notice a gentler, calmer presence about you and are drawn to your increasing Christ-likeness. Progress isn't always perfect with setbacks occurring. But over weeks, months, and years surrendered to God, a definite difference emerges even in how you view yourself. Old identities rooted in performance or appearance diminish as your security rests in your Father's love and approval alone. You learn to rest in God's promises instead of your feelings or circumstances in any given moment. Deeper still is true freedom from slavery to sinful urges and hurts of the past. Though temptation remains and old wounds can resurface, Christ's power within enables you to consistently choose righteousness. More and more, you naturally reflect His compassion, forgiveness, and unconditional love in all your relationships and daily living. Your character visibly displays growth of the fruits of His Holy Spirit at work inside you. In these and countless other ways, a life-transforming journey unfolds as you walk closely with Jesus Christ. Such spiritual development does not happen overnight or through self-effort alone, but by cooperating with God's grace in a dynamic, lifelong process of sanctification. The promises and character of God shine through a surrendered heart, reflecting Him and His kingdom values to the world. This gradual sanctification is a sure sign that God is with you, changing you from the inside out.
you.